What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the SOC University podcast. I'm your host, Adam Duty. We got a special guest in the building. But before we get to the special guest, this podcast is dedicated to anybody that wants to be self-made, self-paid, while boosting their personal, career, brand, or business. So we got a special guest. I'm going to let him go ahead and introduce himself.
Thank you, bro, Adam. It's your boy, Elitis, here at SOC University. Like you said, we're trying to hopefully spread a little bit of knowledge, give you all a little bit. So,
Perfect.
Let's do it.
Perfect, man.
Let's go.
It's literally been, we've been trying to do this for, what, a couple of weeks?
Yeah, it's actually been a couple months. We talked about it the first time.
Okay.
Maybe like right early spring, mid-spring.
Okay.
I think you had an event you went to or right before your conference. I think.
Yeah, I went to the, I actually have it back there. I went to Houston for a podcast summit, basically to kind of learn about what I'm doing and stuff like that. So, yeah, so the podcast, and I know you know already, but the podcast is dedicated to like entrepreneurs in the beginning stages, right? So I'm all about like entrepreneurship, mental health. I like talking to fathers too as well, but it's mainly about encouraging people about to get into their entrepreneurial spirit. I know a lot of times it's hard for people to take that step. And that's a big thing for me too, like specifically talking about it. For me, I had to go ahead and take that step myself. But before we get into it, like I said, I'm super excited, man. So I appreciate you for coming around and doing this. This guy right here, man, this dude, a lot of money, made a lot of money. Definitely going to drop some gems for you guys. So definitely be paying attention and listening. We'll talk a little bit more about the sponsor once we're like done with the video, but you guys should be excited about this.
All right. Well,
so before, let's go ahead and qualify yourself. So just tell a little bit about your background first before we get into it.
Let's go. All right. So my name is Elitis. I went to Illinois State University. I received my bachelor's in social psychology. I started off in psychology, but the world started changing a little bit. Social media started becoming a little big. So I went ahead and got into social psychology. My goal was to get into marketing. I didn't want to go the business route in marketing because it was highly competitive. Mm-hmm. So I figured if I understand the way people move in certain places and things, mm-hmm. it kind of helped me out a little bit more, give me more of an advantage, understanding people if I'm going to sell to people.
Okay.
So went to Illinois State for marketing, got into marketing, ended up going out to Detroit for my first internship. Okay. Working with a dispensary. So did a little bit of marketing for them.
Really?
Yeah. So
okay.
I brung some of my examples of my first business. So it's gonna be a lot of herbal influence in my first in my first entrepreneurship endeavor.
That's fine.
Because that's exactly where my first job ended up in.
Okay.
So after my internship, so I can graduate, we have to complete an internship to graduate. Mm-hmm. Now I'm in the marketing world. You don't really get jobs very easy unless you work for a firm. I always wanted to be an entrepreneur. So I went ahead, was like, well, let me see what I can do. So I started going to, I'm trying not to say too much because it leads into my entrepreneurship journey. Mm-hmm. So, but I went to local restaurants and businesses, talked to them, getting a couple businesses here and there. Okay. End up being on the stage with some famous people. I was telling the big bro, I don't want to name drop anyone because I want to make sure that what I'm doing now, that people know that I am self-made and I did it myself.
Got it.
Not because I knew anyone.
Right.
No, I kind of had a couple keys that I learned in the journey, and I'm gonna give you guys those keys as well. And those keys help me push myself to a whole different level. Okay. And the goal is to hopefully give, and the end of it, I'm gonna introduce my current project, and that way it'll streamline the process of being an entrepreneur, because a lot of things that I learned in the journey, I'll be able to go ahead and show you those things. Okay. But when we start talking, I'm coming out banging. My first receipt is something vicious, so you're gonna like it.
So let's go back to, you said the dispensary. Like around, when was that? How old were you, and what made you even get into that?
So I would say about 24 years old.
Okay.
24 years old, just finished college. And I needed an internship. It was very, very hard to find an internship
Okay.
in marketing that I felt wasn't going to try to kill me without paying me.
Okay. Got you.
I'm adopted, so I don't have anyone that can fund me. Well, I did my internship, so I had to find a job that's going to pay me a little bit.
Okay.
And for me, a little bit was a lot. So I found a dispensary that it was new, up and coming dispensary, and they wanted to grow their presence traditional ways through print, through flyers, through knocking on doors, cold calling.
Wow.
And they also wanted to grow their presence online. At that time, there was more. We had Facebook and we had Google. Google was our primary platform to market on.
Okay.
So that's
wait, Google?
Yes.
Okay. Facebook and Google.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
That was before. I don't know if you guys remember the I forgot what the name of it was called, but Google had a online suite. I think like Google People or Google Places.
Google. I remember Google Places.
Yeah,
Yes,
Google Places,
I do remember that.
So
yeah.
you were able to build business profiles and things on Google like that.
Okay.
You can make you 20 business profiles, 30 business profiles, and eat up the SEO. Well, right now, and I don't know if you know what SEO is. SEO is search engine optimization.
Okay.
It's where you actually increase your footprints online. So when people search you through online search engines like Facebook, Google, Twitter, YouTube, Twitter now, YouTube, Pinterest, those are all search engines.
Okay.
So Google was a primary search engine to be found.
Okay.
So the more real estate you have online, the easier people know where to go. So you want to have a large online presence. So at that time we had Google.
Okay.
So I go there and do a little bit of social media marketing, which were like advertising through Google. But of course, it was still heavy with print and digital marketing. So I did a lot of print and a lot of flyers and things like that.
And that's how you got to...
And that's how I transitioned to becoming an entrepreneur.
After
that internship.
So being there, right, what was your... Because I could easily see somebody at that age being there and maybe being a little bit distracted from it being a dispensary. But what was your mindset like at that time? Because you said that's when you got into the entrepreneurship role or way from there. What was it there that made you see like, dang, maybe I need to start doing this on my own?
Okay, so for me, the reason why I went the dispensary route is not because I wanted to partake in the dispensary. Now, I'm not a smoker.
Right.
I'm not a smoker.
Yeah.
I try to drink. I'm not very good at it. All right, so you know how I was talking about going to the dispensary. So for me, during that time, it was like I said, it was around 2015.
Okay.
2014, 2015.
Okay.
And that's when everybody's talking about marijuana becoming legal. Denver just went legal. Washington just went legal. Illinois had just put a bill in to go legal, but they had not went legal yet.
Okay.
So Detroit just went legal, but Detroit was the wild, wild west.
Got it.
So they had over 80 dispensaries popped up, and they were throwing money at anything and everything.
Okay.
And the people who were owning the dispensaries weren't the normal business type people to start off with.
Got it. That makes sense. Makes perfect sense.
So for me, I knew it'd be a lot of cash there, and I also knew it'd be maybe not as much regulation starting off.
Okay.
So I can walk away with more money if I just play my cards correct.
Okay.
So I did that, and I walked away with a lot of money.
That makes sense. That makes perfect sense. Okay. I can see that. I was just always curious about that because I've heard people get into that, and I've heard that it is a good business regardless of however people feel about it. I mean, because at the end of the day, you're an entrepreneurial spirit and you're an entrepreneur to make money. Like that's the whole goal behind it.
True.
Okay. Wow. So that brought you into the printing, the magazines, right? Okay. Let's talk a little bit about that. I told y'all he's a jack of all trades.
All right, so to drop it off, my first, he said it, magazines, right? So digital print was still big back in 2015. I mean, sorry, not digital print. Traditional print was still big. It was actually starting to decline.
Okay.
Now, a tip from this is I want you all to make sure you do your research. When I first started, I did not do as much research. I thought I had a good idea, and because I had the good idea, no one else had that good idea, so I'll run with it.
Got you.
You do not do that. You plan, and you properly plan.
Okay.
So when I first started, I was like, I want to be a publisher. I want to own my own magazine.
Okay.
Had no clue how to do it. So, all right. So, my first entrepreneurship, my first world in being an entrepreneur, I became a publisher, and I published over 50 magazines, and these just a couple of magazines that I published.
Okay.
But if you go through a couple, my first magazine. Oh, and I also wore this shirt. I was coming in a blazer, but I decided to wear some really nice earrings, fancy blue diamonds. Look them up. But I wore, but I also wore this shirt. This is the first. I'll see the back of
yeah,
the
go ahead.
So
yep.
This is my first shirt. This shirt's probably now 2015 to now.
Yeah.
So
wow.
8 years old, and I made sure I wore my own clothes and had my name on anything I put on.
Nice.
So this was actually my first magazine. So it's a marijuana cannabis magazine.
Wow.
And, these are all the original prints. So this is my first one, and
wow.
then this was my last one in 2020. So I published from 2015 to 2020, and yeah.
Wow. So with that, right? When you started doing that, what made you? Why did you stop doing that?
All right, so halfway through it, so this right here was a project. This was for the Renaissance Club in Michigan, Grand Rapids, Michigan.
Okay.
So I did this project in Grand Rapids, Michigan, and a lot of these projects I did myself. So publishing was a self-fulfilling job. You don't make a lot of money with advertisement. You don't do well in publishing. So what I did was I took my great idea. I hired writers, I hired editors, graphic designers, I hired everybody you needed to hire. I had to work really hard to get the money. Being an entrepreneur is very expensive.
Mm-hmm.
You want to take things at bits and pieces. Don't try to jump in all at one time. So after hiring all of these people, I got paid for this.
So you got paid for
this.
So what do you mean?
And so all of this cost me so much money that I barely, I don't even know if I broke even. Maybe came close.
Got it.
When I actually got this one.
Got it. So you went through all those magazines to just finally get either break contract. Even or break. Got it.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
So being an entrepreneur, you never fail. You learn and you learn and you learn. So you learn a lot, and then you get an opportunity. And then when you get the opportunity, if it's not what you want it to be, you change it, you move around, you add to it. Don't get discouraged. So what happened after I got this one, I was like, oh my God, I learned all this. I just made this much money. What's next?
Okay.
And me personally, I have ADHD, so I can't stay focused too long. So if you're an entrepreneur.
We all do at some point, man.
Yeah, if you're an entrepreneur, while you're young, because I'm now 37 years old, but I started in my early 20s, 24, do everything. People told me you're crazy. You can't do everything. No, you do everything, and you're going to fall into something you love.
Right.
So it was my first journey as a publisher.
I like that.
That's what I started with.
So for all y'all that didn't hear, just his first entrepreneurial journey, his first endeavor, how many magazines would you say you went through to get to this one?
I went through probably 150 magazines. I published big front to end.
Wow.
50 magazines, and that on my resume got me one contract to do one magazine.
So y'all hear that? It's thinking it just. Of course, it doesn't happen overnight, but he went through 100 magazines. He published 50 just to get that one contract for this magazine. Perfect. Okay. No, I mean that's good, because again, like, especially now, a lot of us, even myself, like with the platform, we want stuff to happen right away, but it's that consistency and it's building everything up over time to finally, when you get that one opportunity, like you're ready for it. And I like specifically what you said, that like even though you had that one contract and you broke even, so maybe you would have started even propelling after that, you decided to pivot and change to something else. Like, I'm glad that you said that, because a lot of people think like if they do one business and it doesn't work out, like they failed. Or they do one business and like, okay, that's the only thing that I have to do, right? That's not necessarily true, right? There's a lot of people that do diversify a lot of the things that they're doing. So, okay, perfect. How long would you say you were, if you can estimate, like how long would you say you were doing that? 6 months, a year, 2 years?
So it's different. I did it on my own for probably maybe 2 years.
Okay.
But you see it spanned across 5 years. And the reason why is because I did this on my own to be a publisher, but what it actually turned out to be a product that I could offer in my next entrepreneurship journey. So yeah.
Okay. So let's move on to the next thing. And then before we get to like the next thing, when you, because I'm all about mindset again too as well, when you decided like, okay, it's time for me to move on, what was like the deciding factor, or where was your mind at when you were like, all right, I need to move on to something else?
I'm winning. So I'm like, I'm winning. I just got 100 magazines I'm working on, and I just published 50 magazines, and I got one contract. I'm winning. You know what I mean? Like, Who cares about the money? Because I almost made it all back yet. I'm winning.
Right.
So, but I got to replan. My plan is something's not there yet.
Okay.
Like, something's not there yet. So maybe I don't need to be a publisher, but maybe I need to offer publishing as a service. So what can I put this under? What can I put this under? What umbrella can I put this up under? What can I add to this to make me be more, not qualified, but be more desirable? As a social media marketer, how am I more desirable? So I told you that when in my internship, I was learning Google and SEO.
Correct. Yeah.
During that, they needed flyers. So while they needed flyers and me learning about marijuana, I end up becoming a publisher, because by making flyers, I learned a little bit. You make one flyer, add 50 more flyers, now you got you a magazine.
Got you.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
So, without the words.
Okay.
So then I'm like, okay, found me an editor to write some words for me, paid the editor, found me a flyer, add them together. Now, if I was actually doing it now, and if you guys want to start a magazine, go to ChatGPT, have them print you up a whole bunch of words. You know what I mean?
I just told them
make you a
about
whole
that.
bunch of flyers. Put it together, make you a magazine. You just got you a magazine. I would not do print anymore because it's not popping. But I would make me a digital magazine. You can make you a whole bunch of digital magazines.
So I literally just did, and not to cut him off, I literally just did a whole thing on ChatGPT and AI PRM, where it's like one click, you can write a book in one click. Literally, I just downloaded the Chrome extension, put it in there. I'll have to show you that later if you haven't seen it. And you just type in what you want, and it literally wrote a book, 15 chapters, the whole book in literally like 30 seconds. I was literally blown away. So, but we'll keep getting into that too as well.
You want to be a book writer? There you go too. I'm telling you, because so honestly, with ChatGPT and what we're about to show you today, you can write you a book in like probably 2 weeks.
Yeah.
ChatGPT can do in 30 seconds. When we're done, I'm gonna show you how to make sure you find out. I'm gonna show you a way. Actually, I'm putting employees in front of you. So my biggest thing, my biggest hurdle, my biggest barrier for today, or my biggest barrier in the beginning, was being able to find people to do the work at prices that I can afford to make money off of.
So you're already getting into the jumps. Let's not do that.
Slow it down.
Yeah, that's I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you, he's on to something. He's on to something. All right, so let's move a little bit forward past that, right? What was the next venture that you had after that?
All right, so now I know how to print magazines. I know how to publish magazines. I know how to do graphic work. I know where to go to print the stuff, right? I know social media a little bit. I know Google SEO.
Okay.
So since I know Google SEO, I went ahead and was like, okay, all right. Instead of being a publisher, I went to school to become a marketer, to go to school to get into marketing. Let me do the social media marketing stuff.
Okay.
Let me be in that first wave.
Got you.
Let's do it. So
Okay.
what I ended up doing was I started going to. I've noticed that all the Indian. I'm from Chicago, and we have a lot of mom and pop restaurants.
Got it.
But Chicago food is amazing. Oh
Yes.
my gosh, Chicago, we have. Oh yeah, the bro from Chicago too. So I'm from the South Side of Chicago. But like we have you, if you want Italian food, go to Little Italy. You want Greek food, go to Greek Town. You want Hispanic food, go to Pilsen or
Yep.
Little Village.
Yep.
You know what I mean? You want Southern food or Black people food, go to the South Side. You want whatever you want. You want Turkish food, go to Turkey. I mean,
And my family owns Hillary's Ribs, so make sure you go to Hillary's Ribs too as well. But continue.
Yeah.
My
So
bad,
so what I did was I started going to. So I like Thai food. They
Okay.
menus suck, and they don't have American menus.
Okay.
So what I did was I went to Thai restaurants. Like, hey, I do your menu for you. I charge you $50. Go on Google, translate on Google, to get the words. Hire the graphic designer, made the menu, pay him $3, charged them $50, had me a little quick profit.
Okay, so hold on. He just dropped another gem. So let's back up real quick, right? He got into the business of designing menus for restaurants.
Yes.
Right? So say that over again, but do it a little bit slower on how you did it, because a lot of times people think like when they're running a business or doing a business, they have to do everything themselves, right? And honestly, you want to work smarter, not harder, right? So what he just said was, I wouldn't say it's an easy way, but that's a way that you can break a barrier to actually get into that business. It's almost like a print on demand or graphic designing or designing menus without even being a graphic designer, right? So
Yes.
talk about that again, but
It's never about what you know. It's about who you know, and it's never about how much you can do. It's how much you can get paid for completing a project. You know what I mean? Because you want to maximize your hours. So me, I'm only worth 24 hours.
Yeah.
But shoot, let me hire a couple Indians, and excuse my language.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that's bad or not, but they right now are online, and you can hire them or hire people from Pakistan. I have a couple employees in Africa currently. One of my best employee, you know what I'm talking about. I don't want to say her name wrong, but it started with a P. And she worked hours for me. So, but let's go back to the menus. I went ahead. I know that they needed menus. I'm not a graphic designer. I never went to school for graphic design. But I know I can pay one of my graphic designers who helped me print made one of these magazines for $3 for a flyer. So a menu is no different from a flyer. I made flyers. I can make menus. I went to the little Thai shop. Say, you guys do not have any American menus. I love coming here. And also I went to a place that I go frequently first. That way I can get good at pitching.
Right.
Because I wanted to learn.
And you had kind of a relationship with them too.
With them.
Okay.
So it's easy not to hear a no. When you're first, you want to try to make sure you hear yes first.
Right.
You know what I mean? You can't control it, but if you put yourself in the right place, you most likely can hear a yes first, you know?
Got you.
So and also you want to make sure you can find a way to where you can offer your service at a price that if they say no, they're hurting themselves by saying no to you.
Got it.
To have your menus, I also looked how much it costs to have menus made. So they told me that the person who was doing their menus was charging them like $150 for 2 menus, and they got $150 for like 2 menus.
Wow.
Right? And they had they had the beer menu and they had the regular tray menu. So both their menus like $150.
Okay.
I was like, we can do that for $50.
Wow.
So I just saved them money.
Wow.
And then it cost me $3.
Wow.
And it took me one conversation. And then that became residual because we did that menu every quarter.
So what is your like pitch like going in there talking? I know you can't say it word for word.
No, listen, you should be able to have, I don't care who you are. If you're an entrepreneur, you should have a pitch for every occasion. Just have your opportunity, what you can provide, and then who you are. So
see, and another thing, listen to like the exact words that he's saying. He's saying it's about what you can provide for other people, because when you bring value to other people, that's when you can get things in return. Like he's basically solving a problem, but
Yes.
continue to keep
You have
going.
to be the solution, and that's why I tell when I used to go in, we were told not to be confident. We were told not to be cocky. That's wrong for entrepreneurs. Don't listen to that. I walk in and say, I'm the solution. You give me your problem, I'll give you your answer. And that's how I always started my conversation.
Mm.
But also, before I went in to have that conversation, I researched for hours about the person, where they're from. That way I can fake what I like.
Okay.
Like, man, you know about them Cardinals? I don't even know sports. But depending on who I'm talking to, I know a certain person that they can relate to. So I may
Smart.
not have rapport, but based off the research of the person, and now with social media, I can create rapport amongst anyone as long as I'm properly prepared for that moment.
That's key. So
So
I
that
can even
pitch.
see that. That's huge though. Hold on, man. You dropping some
I'm
gems.
sorry. I
want to
apologize.
No, you good, man. I just want to make sure like people are getting that. So like one thing that I know for people, they're very nervous when they're meeting new people, or they're trying to go to a business and get business or get a new client, right? He just gave you a way of, even for you not knowing who that person is, if you have an idea, let's just say, hey, I'm going to go talk to person A at this building or this restaurant or this company, right? I'm going to research a little bit about that person, that company, whatever it is. Pretty much everybody's on social media. You can find things that they like. You can find things that you have in common. And you can find conversations that you can have with that person. Because I know, like when you're trying to do business with somebody, a lot of it is if they believe that you can provide the service, if they like you or
That's
not.
where it's at.
Yeah, and it's an easy way if you can connect with some things.
It's more if they like
easier.
you than the service. That's
Correct.
where it's like 90% if they like you. It's like 10% if you can provide the service. And the reason why I say that, because I've known a lot of people who suck. But because they have great personalities, they let them mess up until they mess up right. Until they just mess up forever. You know what I mean? So like, I know one person, like he was, we both were in social media marketing.
Okay.
We both had, so everybody know that people had hundreds of thousands of millions of views. Well, I was selling some of those. So
those bots.
Yeah, no, I wasn't selling bots. I was selling the views directly.
Oh, really?
I mean? Yeah.
Okay.
So,
okay.
I was working like, bro, I tell you, I have a computer.
Y'all gotta see this computer, man.
I have a computer.
This computer you got
I push out
crazy.
over 100,000 IP addresses every 2 seconds. I have over 396 gigs of processing power. When it comes to, I have a server rack with 24 units, one 4 unit. I have probably over 8 terabytes per 1U. And then I have my processing computer, 64 gigs of processing power, 780 watt of power. I have a RXT, I believe, graphics card. So my setup is about, for my computer, my setup cost me $230,000 for everything.
Like what? I don't even understand. I don't even know what you're even talking about as far as the.
He saw how it looks.
I saw it. It was literally
like this big.
a tower.
So yeah,
it's just had all these. I don't know much about it, but we'll get into that too. And some mining and some stuff like that. Yeah. I don't know. That's what I think when I see that.
Yeah,
people doing crypto mining.
It's powerful enough to do crypto mining, but it's heavy CPU. It's not heavy graphics because its job is to be smart. So it's heavy processing power, not heavy digital power. So it won't be good for mining because it's not a heavy graphic card. Okay. But it's good for cracking systems. It's heavy processing power. Okay. So we used to buy my heavy. This is way past my second. This is like towards the end of my entrepreneur goal. Entrepreneurship up to where I'm at now. But it doesn't relate a little bit, kind of, to the first part. Okay. So talking about the guy who suck. We both were selling codes. We both were selling codes to boost up people's views and boost up people's numbers. Okay. This guy was using telephone numbers and had the video on repeat. And some of those work, some of them don't, and he can do maybe 1 or 2 or 3 videos at a time. Eventually, the numbers, they get there. We talking about doing my numbers within seconds. But can't be mad at him because he was getting paid a lot of money from a client just because they liked him. His social media skills sucked. He wasn't getting them no numbers, wasn't getting them no views, wasn't raising their levels, wasn't increasing their spot, wasn't getting them no reviews. He told them they couldn't even get reviews. We were putting out on our clients' pages, we had put out 50, 30, 60 reviews depending on who it was. You know what I mean? Like we had so many SIM cards.
Oh,
At
man.
one time I had probably 800 phone numbers.
Wow.
So, but point is, it's not about being great. It's good that you are great. The personality is actually better.
Got it. So you hear that. Okay. And I know that can relate to like the music industry now too, I know as well. Even back then when I was in the music industry, big time, was doing party promoting, all different types of things. And I was like, man, I'm not understanding how like certain people get to certain levels. They're not talented. I sound like a big hater right now. They're not talented. They couldn't do all these different things. They're nowhere even close to the level that I felt like I was on, or other people that I was working with was on. But they're at a certain level, and I'm like, how? Definitely because of who you know. I definitely know in business, a lot of it has to do with who you know and what you can provide. So that's a good example.
All right. And I know you guys trust Adam. I hope you guys trust me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to show you this. I'm not going to have him tell the artist name. I don't want to say the artist name.
Mm-hmm.
I want you to say, I'm going to compare their video and then look, I'm going to show you, see GKN everywhere. I'm going to show you my logo and then look at my numbers and then look at their numbers. And you can tell it's both artists. Same
So
songs.
we can definitely put that on the screen if you want to.
No, we cannot.
Okay.
No, we're not going to do that at all. But go ahead. What number is that under my promotion?
112,000.
And then under their promotion.
8.5. I see what you're saying. Big difference. Okay.
That's one person look famous, one person don't. But guess what? The person's famous.
Right. Okay. Got it. Wow. Okay. All right. So let's. Oof. I'm just trying to think, man.
And you saw the logo, right?
Yeah, I might need to look at that again.
Yeah, go on, just think, let's
I might need to look at that again.
Let's see if they match up.
I might need to look at that again.
You see the logo?
Oh yeah, yep. I see it. Now I know what you're talking about. Yes, I got you. Okay.
GKN did that. What's up? GKN marketing. Let's go.
Definitely in all different types of ventures. Okay, so let's go back into
the Indian restaurant.
So the restaurant and menus, like, did we go over how to do that again?
Yeah. So what we did was we went ahead and got the graphic designer.
Okay.
Pay him $3 to do the graphics and put the text box for the different words for after we translated their menu.
Okay.
And then keep it honest, I didn't even translate it through Google. I just paid a translator from Facebook, and I paid him like $10 to translate it. And then I just fact checked it on Google to make sure it was translated correctly.
Got it.
So I got him in WhatsApp right now. So if I need anything translated, they translate for me.
Got it. Okay. So that's definitely a play. I can see people doing that, starting that.
Oh, real quick. And that cost me like $10, just so y'all know. So
wow.
To do that menu cost me $10. So even though we're throwing out big numbers for what I do currently, because I got to a place where I have a lot of it.
Right.
But before
being modest.
Yeah, but before when I first started, I didn't have anything. So everything I accomplished, I found ways to get it done for a lot less than it cost me to do it. So I got a project, and the project gave me the budget they had, and then I took that budget and I started shopping around for the pieces of the project. And then once I had the pieces, I took the deposit that can cover all the pieces. That way I didn't spend any money. I paid them the deposit. Once they paid me the full amount of the project, I turned their product to them, and I took the profit. It cost me nothing but a little bit of time, very little bit of effort, and a lot of bit of talking, I guess, a little bit eloquently or smooth, you know, finding their wants, desires, and trying to feed those wants and desires.
So he was literally, again, like, he designed menus for a restaurant. He went to the restaurant. He pitched to the restaurant that he can actually provide a service for them. The service was creating menus. He was not a graphic designer himself. He didn't even know how to design, right?
That's correct.
So he went and got, so to speak, a freelancer to design it for him. He got a certain budget for the project. He paid the freelancer a certain amount of money. He kept the rest of the profit, and he also provided that service for them. And there's so many different ways that you can do it. There's a couple platforms that I'm already thinking. One is his, and there's another platform too as well where you can do that. But
I hate to cut you off.
No, go ahead.
There are currently 11 There are 11 websites that you can find these freelancers. There's one social media platform in the world, black owned, by your boy. Come on, say less. Go ahead.
Okay, so let's get into where you are now, right? Because I want to make sure we got enough time to talk about that the right way, right? Okay. And I know we can be talking for hours, whatever. But let's get into where you are now and how you got to where you are and what your business is right now.
Okay, so we were past making labels. Now we're pushing numbers We're pushing numbers in the music industry. So that's what I was saying. I was on stage with famous people, and I'm not doing a name dropping.
Okay.
So talking to an individual, and I'm gonna name drop one person. His name is Kyle Bino. This person was like, "You over here doing all this work. We need numbers on these videos."
Okay.
That's when I got into pushing music videos.
Got you. Okay.
After pushing music videos for a while, working with people, going to Africa, going to Spain, traveling, just living life.
Okay.
I went to Africa, had experience there. It was great in Africa, but the experience I didn't like so much.
Okay.
Working with particular artists was great. The pay, but how they spoke to me, I didn't like so much. So I realized that even though I'm an entrepreneur, even though I pay myself because I was providing services to other people, I still felt like only I was at the party.
Got it.
You know what I mean? So like, I went to a billionaire's party. I'll show you a video of it later. Okay. Everybody had jets. Everybody had Ferraris, nice cars. Everybody was just living it up. They invited Cisco down. Cisco did the little. This happened like last December.
Okay.
Cisco did the little dance routine, and I'm looking around. I'm the only young black man there. I'm like, nobody's here with me.
Right.
Everywhere I'm going. No, but if you're like me. If you like science, I'm a nerd. I love it. I claim that I like science, I like computers. I like reading. I love like books by Orson Scott Card. I like Star Trek. I'm a creative. I don't pay attention to one thing. If you want to hold a conversation with me, it's going to change like 7 different times. You know what I mean? And also, if I'm talking to you about one thing, I might look off and be like, man, it's a nice guy. You know what I mean? So like, there's not many people like me. So they're the creative people, the people we're talking to. You entrepreneurs, you guys are the creative people. You're different, and that's okay. But I experienced that we don't fit. We're not really nowhere for us. So like, say you're creative and you're on Facebook, you're ignored. But say you look good and you rap and you have $0, you're famous. You know what I mean? I got to hang out with people who looked like they were very, very well off. And they got the attention like they were very well off. And then they were borrowing money from me. So
wow. Yeah, I can understand that. I've seen that happen plenty of times too as well.
Yeah, and then you the person that I love women. But the women looking at me like, man, you must be the lame. Where I'm like, yeah, but I'm financing all of this.
You're the one that's paying for it.
One example. Okay, we kicking it. Penthouse, hotel, loving it. The girl come in there. The artist, friend of mine, you know what I mean? He in there. I'm walking around with my girl, whatever, my shirt off. She look at me. She like, my man probably paying for this. Why you walking around this hotel with your shirt off? I was like...
Only if you knew.
I was like, you about to know. I'm like, cuz, my girl right here, cuz. Come and talk to her real quick. Because I hate to do this to us. Because I love you. You my family. But I'm going to kick your girl out of my hotel.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, and she went back in his room on the other side of the penthouse.
Wow.
You know what I mean? So it's like, You know,
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you a downside though too. A downside of it. This is a sad story. I had that same friend, great friend. I went back home because I stopped bringing men to my penthouses with me. I won't have that experience again. But I'm not double dating nothing. Me and my girl gonna do our thing. Y'all can go to y'all own room because I don't know what she was been saying to my girl. My girl had to act like she respect her.
Mm.
That's dead. But that same friend, I went back home. I went and kick it with him. So I came back and I showed the bro, you know how to drive her and all
Yeah.
that stuff. So I get dropped off. Actually, I'm gonna get dropped off. He stayed at the front. I hop at the car, and his friend was like, "Man, I'm effing the wrong cousin," and then he stopped talking to me, and we lost our relationship.
Wow.
So like, I want you to know, as you grow, your circle gets smaller
Yep.
because they don't know how to talk to you anymore, and also they don't want to be in competition with you. But when they look at their life and look at yours, it's not, they don't want to be envious. But when you are worried about if you're going to be able to, the average American right now do not have $500 in their savings account.
Correct.
They don't.
Correct.
I'm not going to say what I have in my savings account. So they may be worried about, if they're going to be able to pay the next bill next month.
Right.
And my girl worried about, we're trying to make our fence bigger.
Right.
And you see my fence.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I want to make it bigger. So it's like, my worries are different. So if I go over there and tell you my stress, man, I'm stressed out because my fence not big enough. And you worried about buying bacon,
Keeping your lights on.
keeping your lights on.
Yeah.
It's hard not to. And then for me, I'm still stressed out.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Understand that.
So it's like, just because our stresses aren't the same, don't mean our stresses aren't equal to our lifestyle.
Correct.
And when you don't have the same lifestyle as other people, that's when you gotta be careful with that. You can't tell everyone everything, even if it bothers you. So to transition to where we at today, let's talk about the club. So
what is it first? And tell the name, and then what is it specifically? What you offer, and make sure you are specifically speaking in there
All
to
right.
the mic and talking to
all
them
right, you guys are
so
ready.
you
Okay.
can promote this.
So the name of my website is www.dollar bills BILLS .club the Dollar Bills Club.
$bills.club.
Yeah.
Got it. All right.
And it's a little more than a website. It's a social media platform for entrepreneurs, freelancers, creatives, influencers, all to find ways to where you can come on the platform and you can help you grow your business and or your company. The biggest barrier that I had was finding people to do the work for me. So if you go to my social media platform, the Dollar Bills Club, you go over to the business feed, we currently have 1,010 freelancers ready to work.
Wow. So you have dollarbills.club. You have over 1,000 freelancers.
Yes.
You said that to me before, but I didn't even think about it.
Mm-hmm.
Over 1,000 freelancers.
We're over 1,000 freelancers. So like,
Wow.
And on average, we onboard anywhere from 100 to 300 per week. Right now, the platform, we're slowing down on adding freelancers because we want to make sure that we go ahead and try to get more entrepreneurs on the platform.
Okay.
That way, the feeds aren't flooded with specific. I need a job. But this is my job. This is my job. This is my job. This is my job.
Got it.
I want a platform to where you can connect with people, engage with people, as well as promote your business and or hire someone to help you. Now, the benefit for having so many we have freelancers from Australia that do cryptocurrency. We have freelancers from Africa that do social media marketing. We have freelancers from Dubai that do websites. We have freelancers from the United States. We have freelancers from India. We have freelancers from the Philippines. We are, without even trying to be global, we're global.
Wow.
Total by accident. So we found a service. We actually found a need, and the need was from my community. I call the Sam Walton theory.
Okay. Sam Walton theory. All right.
So I don't know if you guys know who Sam Walton is, but he owns Walmart. He went ahead, found products in China for 2 cents, brought them back to the hood or areas by highways or urban development where there are poorer people. Mm-hmm. And he put his shopping centers there, and sold the products for $5. The people couldn't afford it. People needed it. He found the price. He found the items for super super cheap. Found a lot of people, and gave that product to those people. For us, how are we going to right now? The tech space, the only space in the stock market that's growing. If you're not in tech, you're not growing. Tesla's growing. Apple's doing okay. You know what I mean? Apple's doing great. They just came out with the new VR glasses, $3,400, something like that.
Yeah, it's crazy. I saw that.
Yeah, it's pretty great. But if you go into the oil sector, or if you go into transportation, if it's not tech, it's not growing right now. So right now, everyone who comes from the 1% family, you know what I mean? Us, not the 1% family. Sorry, everyone who comes from below the 1%, the people who grew up where we grew up at, the people who grew up either in the trailer parks or in the projects, no skin, race, or creed. If you grew up wanting something better, this platform is for you. We all should have. You can't work at McDonald's no more because machines are working at McDonald's. But being a creative, they gonna always need your brain.
Right.
You just gonna need to maximize your time.
So what brought you to the point where you wanted to actually do that? Like, how did that even? Because like, what was your mindset? That's what I want to ask you. What was your mindset to really feel like, okay, I want to go all in on having an online platform, right? Because you could have created like a store, you could have created like a brick and mortar, you could have done a whole bunch of things, but I see you went back to that, hiring somebody to do that service for you, which is super, super smart. What was your mindset to make you get into that business?
I'm great at hiring people. I'm like awesome at hiring people. That was a joke, but but what made me go back that way, because it wasn't that the platform wasn't the platform wasn't the goal.
Okay.
The goal was, I was at the event. Okay, I tell them I was at the Sopranos doing an event up in Rhode Island. All billionaires there.
Okay.
So we were watching Cisco and them dance.
Okay.
But I looked around, and I don't know if you know this, but
wait, say that again. Where you were and what you were doing?
the Sopranos threw an event.
Okay.
The TV show.
Yeah, I know.
So it was up in Rhode Island, and Cisco was doing a dance performer.
Okay.
And I'm standing there, and I'm watching all these millionaires and billionaires talk about their jet, and I'm looking around, and the only people who look like me are the ones that are performing and dancing.
I remember you said that. Yep, I remember you said that.
There was nobody else in the crowd but me, and I'm over here feeling like one of us got to change this.
So it was really that, because you mentioned that before, but it was really that moment when you were like, okay, somebody's got to change the trajectory of like what I'm seeing right now. Okay, got it.
Yeah,
got it.
I'm like, I gotta make a difference, and I don't know how. And for how can I make the biggest impact the quickest? I have a little bit of money, like I said, so I took.
You don't have to necessarily say the amount, right?
Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll talk about Fanbase, and then I'll go back to my company. Fanbase, black owned, Isaac Hayes III here in Atlanta. Great platform, social media platform. They now currently have spent, I want to say, about $6 million on their social media platform.
Okay.
They raised about $8 million on their social media platform, and I can fit Fanbase in my platform 10 times.
Wow.
Nothing. I love Isaac Hayes. I love Fanbase, but you can go to Fanbase, see how many fees they have, and I promise you, your profile page have more fees than Fanbase have. The point of me mentioning both platforms is because Fanbase paid $8 million, and they're not as big as me.
Got it. So your platform, what are some of the things that people can get done? What are some of the things that they can learn? Or what would you say is like, what is a popular thing that's happening right now in the world or for entrepreneurs that they can specifically get from your platform?
Okay. Well, our platform was set up to, first, our platform, we have to reiterate a couple times.
Okay.
So the beginning of the year, we set the payment system up to where you can pay the freelancers directly. So you can go on the platform. There's different fees. There's an investor fee. There is a business news feed. There's a public news feed. There's a media news feed.
Okay.
And each news feed have a specific purpose. The platform does a lot. So if I were to go ahead and try to explain everything the platform does, it would kind of probably blow you away.
Okay.
And make it seem not desirable. But
Got
the
it.
platform was set up with the psychology mindset in behind it. So when you go to the platform, it's very easy to navigate.
Okay.
And I'm getting a lot of people who tell me that's very easy to navigate.
It is.
But that's why I
Being
don't want
on there, it is.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's why I don't want to say too much because the platform offers a lot. It
Okay.
offers a lot.
Okay.
But specifically, we'll talk about the business feed.
Okay.
If you go to the business feed, that's where you see all of the different freelancers from everywhere who's telling you this is my service and this is how much I can pay for my service.
Got
and
it.
you can negotiate, email, or call on the platform those individuals.
Wow. So you so I can, let's just say I wanted to, and I'm just want to just reiterate that. Let's just say for my podcast, which I've done before, right? I can go on there and find a freelancer that can promote this show. I can call them right then and there, and I could get them for a ridiculously competitive price.
Yes.
The lowest price.
Yes.
Okay. And I know y'all know this by now, but I would not recommend something that I don't use or something that I don't stand by. I've actually used the service, used his platform. It was very, very easy. And if I had any questions, I could have go to you anyway, but it was easy. Like, I'm literally getting certain social media stuff set up for me. I'm like, I didn't even have to do anything, which is good because all promotion is promotion, right? Everybody needs promotion. So that's good. So you can literally go on there and message them and call them.
Yes.
What made you decide to have that feature to be able to call them? Because I don't think you can do that on other platforms, can you?
Yeah. So WhatsApp, you can make phone calls. But the reason why we had this feature, and the reason why it's important to have this feature, we also have groups. We accept groups, and you can have streaming in groups where you can do video face-to-face conferencing. But what I'm blessed to where I have enough money to not take. I said take, but not take. So Zillow, they offer a service. They charge money for it. I'm not copywriting them, but I'm offering a service. It's gonna be like Dollar Talk, and you're gonna have everything Zillow do. Why? Not Zillow, Zoom. Everything
Got
Zoom
you.
do. Why? Because it helps businesses.
Wow.
Microsoft have a whole office suite. I have developers. I have a little bit of money. They're developing a suite, so you're gonna have a whole developer suite.
Wow.
We have Teams. I might have to change the name because Microsoft probably got that name trademarked.
Yeah.
We have Teams built on our platform.
Wow.
So right now we're still building it out. My goal is to give people who come from where I'm come from the same tools, so that way they can achieve what I was able to achieve.
Right.
And it's all free. The payment portion of the platform, we changing it. It
Okay.
was set up through Stripe, and you had to pay a fee to make the payments, and we had to pay a fee to process the payments.
Okay.
That's going to take away from the platform being free to use, as well as taking away from, because you should be able to make money on the platform as well.
Right.
There's a part of the platform where people can subscribe to you like any other platform. There's nothing special. Where you also can have people donate to you like any other platform. Nothing special. You know what I mean? But we want to make sure that you have every opportunity that any other platform have, if not more opportunities.
Got it. Okay. Okay. Wow. Wow.
Except we're going to have everything right there for you to use. And we're going to have all the employees you need to grow. Sorry for interrupting you.
Wow. So how would, if somebody wanted to create a platform like that or get into that type of business, how would you recommend somebody do that? Or would you even recommend them to do that? Just creating a platform online in general. And then what are some ways that they can make money from it as being an entrepreneur, right?
Okay. Eventually, I would say with more than $1 million, you can. Because it cost me more than $1 million to create this platform.
Wow.
But to create a company, you can do it on my platform for free, and you also can have a company with ready-to-go products without even spending any money. On the platform, and we have a recruiting department too, because we're just now starting growing. So you come on the platform, you need a recruiter, we will help you find the employees that fit your budget.
Dang, y'all offer everything.
That's the goal.
Golly.
That is the
Okay.
goal.
Okay.
So you come on the platform. I tell everybody start with becoming a graphic or starting a marketing company, but always start with graphic design. And the reason why is because everyone needs flyers, especially in the social media world.
Mm-hmm.
And you can make flyers for $20 and then charge somebody. You can make it for $3 and charge somebody $20. So it's an easy way to get your feet wet without costing you any money. Log on to dollarbills.club, go to the business feed, go find a graphic designer, send them a message, tell them you need a flyer, ask them how much to do the flyer, more or less probably negotiate, say I would pay you this much for a flyer, I'll contact you when I have a project ready for you, please stand by. That's on hold, you know who you're going to for the project. Same process we did with him.
Yeah.
Said, what's what I'm going to do, it's what I'm going to need. When I get ready for it, will you be able to do it for me? The person said, wait. The person held for about, a week before you started?
Mm-hmm.
When you're ready, or when you have a project, so you know who you're going to do the work for. You go to, for me, I went to local tie shops. You may go to, say if you are in Atlanta, we're in Atlanta, you can go to your local artists because they're probably outside.
Yep.
Or in the gas station, or in the grocery store,
Yeah.
or just breathing because they're everywhere.
Yeah.
So find an artist, or find a business, or find an entrepreneur, because we're full of entrepreneurs. Find someone who is growing, or find your family member who has a birthday party, or a woman or a family member who's about to have a wedding.
Yeah.
I'll design your cards for you. But
Or somebody's about to have a birthday for a baby.
yeah, have a birthday for a baby. Exactly. That's actually exactly a good one.
Yes.
But even bigger than that,
Yep.
and you make a lot of money from it. What I also did a lot was business cards and print through Vista.
Gotcha.
Because like you have some vicious business cards, and then you get your first client, have the process, understand the process so it's streamlined. That way, all you have to do is tell your employee, you got a task, copy and paste, like I told you.
Right.
Cut, copy and paste, send it over, task done. I don't even have to talk to the client anymore or talk to the associate. I send it over, take the final payment because the deposit was sent up front.
Okay.
Done and over with. Now, you don't get deposits on $20 projects. That's later on.
Right, right.
Big projects.
I understand what you're saying.
But for the $20 project, you can do a flyer for me. All right. You take a risk on yourself. Tell your person, I'm going to pay you $5, $3 for the flyer. Once you receive the flyer, you pay them. We are taking our platform from payment with Stripe, and we're converting our platform to a crypto-based platform. The cryptocurrency we're going to use will be Dogecoin. The reason why, because their transaction fees are the lowest. Bitcoin and Ethereum transaction fees are higher because of the DRC20 tokens. Even with the new DRC20 tokens, Dogecoin still, BR is BRC20 token, but for Dogecoin, the DRC20 tokens, those still have very, very, very low rates. Last person I think I paid $500, and the processing fee cost me, I think, 22 cents, and he received the money within 1 minute.
Really?
And I think he was in Afghanistan. No, Iraq.
Wow. So
globalized payment systems, and they send the money instantly. And so.
Dang, that's crazy. That's huge, man. Make sure y'all definitely support that. Like it's literally like I'm literally trying to filter in everything and think of that, but just to have the mindset to be able to create that type of business, I think that's crazy, because I would have never even thought about creating some type of freelance
marketplace,
right?
Global freelance marketplace.
Yeah, and it's different because it has so many different features that you're probably not used to using, right? But it still gives you the ability to do that. But then the best part that I like about it is you can negotiate with the people there. Like, there's other platforms and they just got a set price. You know what I'm saying? And you have to pick from there. But to be able to negotiate with them and call them, develop a rapport with them and all that, that's crazy.
I didn't answer your question correctly. Because I have a social media platform.
What question?
The question the brother Adam asked me earlier was, do other platforms offer this? Do other platforms in this space offer it? No one does, because they don't have social media platforms.
So let's talk about that again. Why is your platform dollarbills.club? Why is that different than any other platform?
So when first I started, I would get my freelance from a platform called Upwork or Fiverr. We all aware that Upwork or Fiverr, you get work from the clients, but you may or may get a hit and miss. When Upwork and Fiverr weren't giving me the type of employees I needed, I found my employees from Facebook, developed a rapport with my employees on Facebook, brought them over to Upwork, and used Upwork payment system to pay my employees.
Okay. Got it.
So there is a service and there is a need.
Got it.
So I needed employees. I needed to pay employees. I had to go to a social media platform to gain trust, and then I had to go to the website to hire them. So
Got it.
I just bridged it and made it myself because there was nobody in between.
Got it. Wow. Okay.
So in my platform, you'll be able to find your freelancer, engage your freelancer, create a rapport with your freelancer, hire them, and they can become an employee. And the goal is to actually create employees, not creating freelancers. I don't even like the name freelancer, and I tell
love
brother
that.
I don't want to use the name freelancer.
I love that.
Because the goal is to find employees, so that way you can build your company. Everyone that I work with currently, all the current employees I have, I've worked with them for over 8 years, and they all start off as freelancers.
Wow. So he's saying on there you can pretty much hire employees. It's different than hiring a freelancer. I like that. That's dope, man. I like that. So what's your next steps with the platform? Like where do you see it going and what do you want to do from there?
So you gotta bear with me. We had so many freelancers on board at one time, and then we went ahead. We're testing the platform out still, so I went ahead and hired my content creators, and they're not creating content on the platform. What their job is to do is engage with the current freelancers on the platform, talking to them, trying to find out what are you missing. How would this place be a home to you?
Okay.
The goal for the platform, and I don't want to say this incorrectly, the freelancers they're not the product, but they're the product. The platform is their home, and the goal, and we want to make their home the best home for them. That way we can find tons of them, because we as Americans, we're the advertisement hub of the world. That's what America, we entertainment and advertisement and innovation. So we got entertainment, advertisement, and innovation.
Okay.
So we need to find employees that we can pay at rates that we can afford. So I can right now, I'm in a space competing with billionaires with not $1 billion money. You know what I mean?
I see what you're saying.
Elon Musk spent $44 billion for Twitter. Once my platform is completed, when it comes to the real estate of Twitter, my platform will be just as luxurious as Twitter. I even bought the font.
Nice.
Literally, it was $700. I didn't know that.
Nice.
So,
okay.
So, but I'm doing so. What I'm doing is giving you the opportunity as a small entrepreneur or a graphic design company with 4 or 5 people. You can compete with a larger company with a building downtown. Why? Because you have the keys to produce the quality of work. Also at a more efficient time, because you have less people to go through to get the project from step 1 to step 2 or step 1 to finish. And then not just that, you also have a lot less overhead, because businesses want to work from home. You probably already working from home.
Makes sense. Wow. Okay. So again, what's the platform? What's the website again?
www.dolla, D-O-L-L-A, bills, B-I-L-L-S.club. I'm from Chicago.
That's where you came up with that.
You feel me? I'm being honest with you.
I already know where you're going with that.
So look, bro. Like family, friends. You know what I mean? This platform is for everybody, but this platform is for us. I don't want to feel corporate. You know what I mean? I was gonna come in with the blazer. I'm like, no, I'm gonna take it way back. I did bring the fancy blue diamond earrings, but besides that, I came in like me. You know, I'm still city.
Yeah.
You feel me?
So I know she's like, I'm still.
Yeah, I'm still city. You feel me? So I'm still like, I'm Chicago's finest, baby. So Illinois State, let's go.
Okay. So before we end, I like to ask a lot of my guests this specifically, right? So you're going to be directly talking to the camera, right? Okay. So I always like you give feedback or things to your future self, right? So if you can talk to yourself 5 years from now and give your own self advice, or if it was or just something is different, what would you say to your future self? And you're not talking to me, you're talking directly to your
So this is what
your future self.
Before I do that, when I see pictures of my old self, like on Facebook, I make comments like, "Man, you made it," or I see me in my fitted cap, black Diego T, and be like, "Dude, you're awesome." So my future self, I'm trying, and while you on that yacht, and while you in that jet, just know I'm riding a bike, homie. I did that for you.
That's what's up, man. Appreciate you, man. Again, definitely, bro. Like, definitely make sure y'all go to dollarbills.club.
Dollarbills.club.
Dollarbills.club. Check out the platform. I've used it. I'll definitely stand by. I loved it. It was very easy to use. Definitely make sure you check out the website too as well. Make sure you subscribe to the Spotify. The podcast is on Spotify. Definitely gonna see more guests definitely like this. Again, I appreciate you, man. It was great. It was a pleasure.
Thank you.
Definitely gonna have to do it again too as well. Yeah, and we'll get into our sponsorship too as well, which the platform is sponsoring it, right? Dollarbills.club is sponsoring this episode, guys. All right, so that's it for the episode.
Yeah.
Appreciate you, man.
So what the bro, in the beginning of the conversation, when we first started, he did say, what can we do for my my consumers, my audience, my fans, my
So
family?
we were actually talking about this on the way here. Like I wanted to see if we can give some type of code or something they can use when they go to the platform, but his platform is not ran like that. So he'll tell you what it is because it's a free platform.
Yes.
So
The platform is I've been blessed. Like bro, I tell you, I have a beautiful house. I have, man, my base has shot her out, you know. So, you know, Bree, girl, you know, she beautiful. I'm shining you out. Brajane, you know, I miss you, girl, already. I'm here doing what I'm supposed to do, but I have a beautiful girl, gorgeous girl, and she got a stupid ring. You know what I mean? So, like, I've been blessed, and I don't feel comfortable going home. Not because my people don't feel comfortable, because when I go home, I see how hungry people are.
right.
And it just doesn't feel comfortable. So my platform is 100% free. I'm building all the tools so that way you can start your company. When you talk to your freelancer, you negotiate to your freelancer, that's y'all, the payment, whatever payment platform y'all use to make y'all payments, that's between you two. All the tools, the teams, the groups, the calls, all that's on me to keep the platform running. There is no advertisement on the platform, but the freelancers can advertise, what they're not paying for. The influencers can advertise to each other, which y'all not paying for. But there are so because of that, I cannot give you a code to say $10 off of something because it's free.
Right.
But in my head, I don't know if I would ever sell shares of my platform because it's mine. But I made an investor feed just in case I sold shares of my platform because it's mine.
Yeah.
So what I'm gonna do is anyone who log onto the platform, make a comment, said I came here from SOC University, I will be giving out 1 share of the company. I'll be giving out 1 share of the company.
Heard it here first.
You will be able to go on, and when you have that 1 share, only the people who are investors of the platform can actually comment. Make posts in the investor feed. All the investors can go and talk to each other, talk about how the platform is running. They want to change anything, update anything, but the users can make a comment on the post that the investor made. If we do really, really well, and we do start selling shares, then we're all going to make money from it. But that's not what I'm saying I'm going to do up front, but I'm making sure the platform is set up so we can.
Dope, man.
So that's it.
Appreciate you, bro. Again. All right, man.
No, I appreciate
We're out.
you. Thank you.
We are out.
SOC, let's get it, baby.